Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum to all of you. Today, my guest is Brother Khalid Ahmad Khattak from the UK. He's a very nice person and he's doing a really great job in his life. So, he is here for us to share his journey so that we can learn from his life and about what he is doing and what his future goals. So thank you so much, Brother Khalid. You are welcome in our show. And without any delaying, you start with your brief introduction and what is the basically motive behind your Siddika journey and all the things. Thank you so much.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, all viewers. My name is Khalid Ahmad Khattak. I am basically from a small village in district Nowshera, Salihana. I grew up there and I spent my 20 years in Pakistan. So starting my primary school in Salihana Primary School, I went to local madrasa there, masjid or madrasa, as normally everybody does. So study Nazira and Quran there. And from there on, I went to high school, as locally as well, government high school called Salihana. So I took first position in my board exam in my school, not outside school. From there on, I went to APS Chart as Army Public School and College. I did my FSC from there, and then from there on, I went to study double maths physics in FG College, Peshawar, under the University of Peshawar. And that's when I was 20, I came to the UK for further higher education. I did my foundation year in engineering in Coventry University. That was 2006 and 7. And then I had some English courses for 1 year. And after that, I got married. So currently I have, alhamdulillah, a wife and 3 children, 3 boys. And from there on, I started my degree in engineering in 2009 from the University of Birmingham. And I finished in 2013 because degree is computer system engineering with business management. And from there, alongside, I was working in NHS as well, NHS as a support worker. So I worked in NHS for about 7-8 years alongside, because being from a foreign student, then you have to support yourself because if you are especially from poor background, then you have to support yourself, your family and your fees as well. So I did that alongside my studies. And then from 2013, I carried on with my studies. I completed my master's in computer science from the University of Birmingham. From there on, I was teaching as I was teaching associate in the University of Birmingham from 2014 to 2019. And then I started my research in the Keele University from 2019. That is basically on wearable health technology. So I'm still working on 3 projects related to health and computer science, wearable health technology. That's the main field. And then inside the field, then we have change logs study, and we have the comparison study of 2 devices. So doing all these, that was before the pandemic. I started a course on Tajweed because I have been studying Islamic studies as well from the university, from the Knowledge International University. So my teachers are like Bilal Phillips, Sajid, Omar. So I was thinking to teach something easy, because if you see most of the children we have, they struggle to understand the Nazira or just the reading of the Quranic Arabic. So I had ideas, but to fulfill my dream, I had to work on it, just make slides for the basic. I started from Al-Qaeda Nuraniya, so that's probably like worldwide, excuse me, here. I think this book is taught everywhere in the world. It's very famous. It's written by one of the Pakistanis, Nur Muhammad Haqqani, rahimahullah. May Allah reward him for his efforts. So I thought, maybe why not teach this from different angle. For example, if you are teaching one word, then divide it into subwords, syllables, and then subsyllables. So just to make it as easy as possible for students to learn each word of the Quran. I started doing the work. In the beginning, when I started, I thought I will finish this in 2 weeks' time. That's like it has about 17 lessons in this book. So that was, I'm talking about January 2020. That's what when I started, I thought I will do it. So I did some slides beginning where I wasn't there in the slides. I would just do the and speak over on the slides. I will just explain it. And then I did 5 lessons, and then realized that this is not going to work. People are not going to watch it because the interaction is not there. The interaction is missing, as if you are learning from the computer. So what I did is I further polished my slides, and I worked on it for a few months. And in this one, it's not myself, it's my wife. She helped me a lot, and she has been helping me with my education because I work part-time, not full-time. So for example, if you're living in the UK for 15, 16 years or for 15 years and you haven't got a house or you're not wealthy, then people just make fun of you because what you've been doing is education. And normally people ask me nowadays, what do you study? So I just don't tell them because most of the people, they make fun of you when your education finish. So I just say, I mean, I work part-time anyway, and I just say it's ongoing and it will be continued till I die. So my knowledge, pursuit of knowledge will probably be like that. I just carry on learning because I love learning and teaching. That's the two things I have in my life. Learn something and then teach it, forward it. That's what I've been doing. Come back to the topic. So first 2 weeks didn't work because I thought this is not going to work. I stopped that one, repolished the slides, and I did it's like I think, I don't know, over 10,000 slides or 10,000 slides. So the other thing, the problem is because it's related to Quran, it needed a lot of repetition, rechecking. Am I making any mistake? Am I making a mistake? Because the goal behind this course was this course will be taught worldwide. So the way we have this book right now, Al-Qaeda Nuraniya, this is kind of in every household. So my intention behind this course is this course will be taught everywhere in the world. That's why I chose the medium English, because most of the people in the world, they know English. And that's my intention. So it will be going. It is currently, so far, I have done half of the course. It has gone to a lot of madrasas in Pakistan, from Karachi, Peshawar, Nowshera, different areas. Individually, I set up, in the beginning, I set up a WhatsApp broadcast. So currently, I had about 2,000 students in the WhatsApp broadcast. But it was too much for me to carry on with that, because broadcast and then the website and then the page, the Facebook page. And what I do is the material I have, because I have never done recording studies means I just do the camera, but for this purpose, I bought the highest specification camera, as Canon D90D, which record 4K. So I wanted my recording to be future proof, because if you do lower resolution right now, then in few years time, because everybody will have 4K TVs and 4K everything, so you will be I will be behind. So for that, I had to buy the camera, which is can record 4K, and then I had to buy the big screen. It is a 55-inch screen, and it's touch screen as well, so you can write everything on it, explain everything properly. So I had to invest that money, because whatever saving I had, I just invested that in there. It is because it's Sadqa Jariyah project, so I'm hoping Allah will give me more in return, inshallah, in this world and in the hereafter. So I invested that. And alongside, I had a computer myself, which is very good spec, but it's one computer. And I had my friend, because I made some computers as well. So my friend computer with me, I made a rig a few years ago. It had 6 graphics card GPUs. So he wasn't using it anyway. So I thought, if you're not using it, I'll take it home and use it for my editing purposes. Is because when you have 4K cameras, 4K recording, then you need powerful CPU, GPU, everything. And I got the software, everything. I started working on it. So if I start recording lessons, it takes me the whole day, like just to do 5-6 recording, because I record it, My son is actually a cameraman. He's a young, 12 years old. He's a cameraman. So he stays behind the camera and start shooting it, and then take or retake. We finish the lessons, and then once we finish that, we go to the editing part, and then edit part is very, very tiring. So I have to look for literally the syllables, then syllables to sounds. If the sound is wrong, then I edit it because it's to do with Quran. So I don't want to publish anything that has errors in it. So far I've done half, but I found some errors myself. So once I finish that, I have to do another video to say that these videos has errors in these places, so people know, or if it's possible, I will edit them or re-record them, those lessons. But these are not big mistakes. That's just a tiny sound mistake, because I'm kind of perfectionist, so I try my best to make it as perfect as possible. It's only Allah is perfect, but we try to do the excellence. We try to look for the excellence, ihsan. Coming back that, so that's what's been happening. I think it's too much. You can ask question in the middle as well.
So basically, my question is what Siddika is, as you talk about the motivation and learning perspective behind it. So what Siddika is, what courses Siddika is offered now, and is it free or not?
Okay, Siddika is my company. It's the courses I'm providing currently is free, because what my intention is, I try to provide. This is the first course. I'm trying to create all different courses in different sciences, because I've done maths, I've done engineering, I've done Islamic studies. So I'm creating different courses. For whatever I can do is, if I can afford it, this will be free. If I can afford it, it will be free, inshallah. Unless circumstances change that you have no other living, that's fine. Excuse me. But inshallah, it will be free. Currently, it's free as well, and I have over 4,000 students registered on the website. But as I said, it's a lot of work. So I have uploaded half of the course so far, and still the other one hasn't finished because I have deadlines for my own work project as well, or my research. But it is going. So what I do, the minimum. Siddika is free, and you can see there are different courses listed there. It will be inshallah published so slowly as I go along. But this project is actually it's not just one course. It's a combination of few courses. If you see that, it's like a beginner, mid, intermediate, and advanced. So this is actually 3 courses. People are studying, or say, why are you taking about 2 years to finish? I said, because this is very, very big course. Because I've studied in Knowledge International University, so we studied Tajweed in about 8 semesters. That's taking about 4 years in the whole degree. So this is, you learn it slowly, you practice every day. So all the courses that we published, hopefully next course will be like on how to learn Pashto, so basic one, because what happens is we, from our village, Salihana, Kotli Kala, this area, we have a big community that lives in England or Canada or America. So our generation, because we are Pathan, so Pashtun, then we are losing out our language heritage. So what I'm trying to do next is trying to create Pashto language as well to teach to speakers who, like, main language is English. So alongside our Pashtun community, and I will have our own dialect, because if you see the dialect, our villages is completely different than if you go to Peshawar, different Pashto. So I will try to include all those. That's the next project, one of the projects coming up, inshallah. And similarly, I have maths, teaching maths as well. All these projects will be free, inshallah, free of charge, as long as I can afford it, inshallah ta'ala. That's why I have a support program. You can support my page there. You can donate whatever you can, because Sadqa Jariyah project, so it's a massive project. So far I have spent about, I think, over £10,000 from my pocket, and there are some contribution coming up as well. Sometimes people pay £10, £20, sometimes £100. That's different, but so far I have spent all the income as savings I had. I just spent that on there. Any other question?
That's really appreciated, and I'm so glad to having you. So my next question is, can you please explain about the courses, just like Arabic language courses and another courses? Can you please share the details of it?
Okay, let me just open the website, so I will have a whole list which I have done there. So for example, we have, I'm looking at the other screen, so just bear with me because I have two screens running up. So first thing we have Islamic studies. Islamic studies, we have different one. The first one is like, let's say we're doing basic Quran. Then our next one, I'll probably doing Aqidah as well. What's the basic Aqidah of Islamic studies? So I will start from beginning and then go topic by topic, for example, Islam, and then the 5 first pillars, and then go on top of that. So that's one field. The other one is engineering. Because I've done computer system engineering with business management. So engineering modules would be like just from scratch, introduction to computer science. The language would be, I teach language in university as well as Java programming. I will do that, artificial intelligence, intelligent data analysis. The modules, basically, whenever I was studying, this is you can see how far I was thinking before. When I went to all degrees, I would save every single file, even my slides, assignments, everything, because I had from beginning that I will be teaching these courses. So I had all my degrees, all the modules, every single file. I have it. I have, I don't know how many, over 10 terabyte data so far. So I have all these slides. Learning means revisiting them, because when you leave university, most of the things you forget. So you go back, revisit them, and do it. So I will have engineering courses. I think I've done over 50 modules, so it has been massive. The basic idea is, my intention is to teach for till I die, till I live. That's the intention, hopefully, inshallah, unless circumstances change. Next one is mathematics. So mathematics, you start from in the UK, it's actually, you have different sets, set 1, set 2, set 3, like the main one is year 6, and then you have the year 8, 9, and then you have the A levels. So currently, because I teach with another organization, as they teach underprivileged students once a week, it's called Action Tutoring. So I am a tutor there, just free of charge for them as well. So that is one. And then you have the mathematics and engineering as well. So those will be other topics to teach for in engineering. So you will have a primary school maths, and then a secondary, and then college, university. And then you have the different languages. So the first one I select is Arabic, then probably next one, Pashto or Urdu, because I have studied in Pakistan for 20 years. So I thought, yeah, why not? Because my intention is to teach my children those 4 languages as well. So the first one is like you have the mother tongue Pashto, and then you have the national language Urdu, then you have the international English, but for them is national English as well. They study at home, because my children, we live in England, so they know English already. And then the 4th one is Arabic. So I'm hoping that they will be studying, learning 4 languages, and I try to produce those courses so everyone at home, they can try and learn as well, and with all minute detail as possible, inshallah. And then we have the sciences. You have simple chemistry, biology, physics, different topics. So what I wanted, basically, is whatever I've studied, is I'm going to be teaching, hopefully, throughout my life. That's the motive, inshallah. And I'm trying to keep it free for as long as I can afford it, inshallah.
So what's the barrier and failure you faced in your life, and what you learned from it?
Wow, that's a tough question. A lot of failures. Some of the failures you want to keep, there are a few of them that scares me. There are a few of them scares me. Some of them, they kept me in pain for 1.5 years. That was basically, I had to fight with Student Finance England, because when I got married, then my status changed from international student to home student. So I had to, because I gave them my all documentation, my paperwork, everything there. That was when I was starting in 2009. So I gave them all my detail in 2009 February. So the course started in September, but I gave them my detail in 2009 February. So that was about 7 months before my course started. I gave all my documentation, my passport, everything. But they just said they took about 15 months just to say you are eligible or not, but to say that I was carrying on with studying, and after 15 months, when I finished my first year, they said you're not eligible for it. But in the middle, they would say, oh, as long as you have these requirements, you are eligible for it, which I had. That's why I carried out my studying. Then I just got annoyed. I said, this is not good because it's the UK, it's not Pakistan, that you just think 15 months is too long. And even though you have all the documentation, they asked me again and again. I couldn't take it. I just appealed. They would just reject it. I went to different solicitors. I said, this is my case. But unfortunately, I couldn't find anyone who could fight that case, because what I tried to do is I'm trying to take the government to court that they have made a wrong decision. Not made decision, they're actually discriminatory because they have done something wrong that I don't know. I'm not aware of either is a racism or just a mistake, but I don't know. My intention would be maybe racism, because if you had documents for 15 months and I'm sending you again and again, and then you're just doing, you say it's okay, and the end you say, no, it's not. So when I finish, then it's actually counted towards, you won't be paid for it. I took them to court. I said, this is what they've done, and this is incorrect. But the problem with that is I couldn't afford it. One thing is I couldn't afford it. The other thing is I couldn't find a solicitor or barrister that they can take it. I couldn't find it because we have an organization. It's called Citizen Advice Bureau. I went there, they directed me somewhere. When I went there, they said, we don't do these cases. I went to another place. They said, don't do other cases. Then what I did is I took 1 year off, because I started in 2009 and then finished 2013. It shouldn't be 2013, it should be 2012, because 3 years here in England, we have 3 years degree. But what I did is I took 1 year off completely for that. I said, I'm going to study my own case and I'm going to do it myself. I did it with the help of my wife and just friends. It was just bugging me a lot. And it was affecting my health as well. It was severely affecting my health. For 18 months, I was in severe pain. I used to get chest pain. I went to all different diagnostics, but I knew that it would be in the night I wouldn't sleep because of that. It just made me angry. I did all the preparation, everything. Wrote all the cases, study everything, whatever I could. But I think you can't take a government organization to court. You have to just ask for judicial review. But I didn't know. I just find online website and just went through that. Like many claim there's a court online as well. You start from there. I used that one. At the end they said no. It was, even though the solicitor, the barrister who from Student Finance England. So before going into the hearing, I went there and I was speaking to her, and I just asked questions. She was asking me questions. She said, yeah, we made a mistake, but we can't pay you. I said, that's what I'm saying. You have made a mistake and you have to pay me. But because I didn't know all the legal niche and legal points, everything, so I just couldn't take them, and I just left it there. It means I haven't got I knew they said in the final judgment that they won't pay you anything. I dragged them for about 1 year. I just gave them tough time, and then I just left it completely. Then I left it. Then I went to parliamentary ombudsman. That's the highest you can go. Like in Pakistan, it's called muhtasib. I went there. I explained everything, all the line, everything. I had the report, everything. And this is what's happening. Before that, they gave me £100 compensation, just £100. But I was asking, I said, no, it's not £100. It's over £30,000. You have damaged me. And I think the story is going, it's too long. So I just took them to parliamentary ombudsman, and they gave me a report as well. Okay, you have done this. I didn't agree with it, but I said that's enough. That's the maximum I can do. And then they increased from £100 to £500 compensation. So I just said, okay, just take it, because there's no alternative. I still regret I should have taken it, because I wanted to stand on my principles, that they made a mistake. It's not my mistake, it's their mistake. And they accepted it as well, that they made a mistake outside the court, not inside. But they won't pay me. So I just left it there. So that was one of the things even if I remember now, I don't feel right for it. Another thing I tried, I was doing research, 2016, started research in the University of Birmingham. I became homeless with my family as well. That was tough time, a very tough time. I had to go to food bank one day as well to collect food because I lost my job and everything. So that was very, very tough time. The thing is, I had family and friends here, but sometime in life you are fed up of asking people. That's what happens because when I came here, I've been helped by family members, by my own family, my or extended family members, my friends, my community, like people from Salihana, Kotlikala. Great, every single aspect. You just go to them. Great support I got from everyone. But sometime in life, you just say, I can't ask for anyone else except Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. We should be doing that anyway, but because as a human, we need human help as well. Went to homeless. After homeless, we went to the food bank. Food bank is like you go somewhere and ask for food. The government have, or it's not government, it's a non-government organization. You just ask for food for yourself, for your kids. So that was probably one of the lowest points in the life. But I don't stop there. I just carry on. I just carry on with all my studies, everything, and I try to give. That's why I try to give free education as much as I can because I have been through very difficult time. Even if you see childhood, I used to have a shop, so we used to go to masjid in the morning, study there, and then go to school after that, and then come back. Then would go to school, madrasa again. Come back from madrasa. We used to have shop from Asr time till Isha time. We used to be in the shop helping our father. And then after that, we come back. Then the father would say, "Now sit to study." So 11 o'clock, we would be dozing off, and he would say, "Now study." So with his and my mother and my father and my brothers, they helped us a lot to get to this position. May Allah reward them in this world and after. Otherwise, it would have been very difficult without their support.
Really impressive. I think it's really a tough time for you. Basically, as going through this hard time and a lot of things, so what you learn and what's the message you give others, like if we are going through any time we say don't do this and don't do this, so what's the message you deliver for others?
The message is don't give up. Follow your dreams. Follow your dreams. Don't give up. It may take time because I have been studying. I'm currently 34, and I've been studying alongside. I mean, you have to work as well. I've been working, supporting myself. Did all the degrees, funded myself, married, funded my marriage life as well. And but the other thing is when you marry, look for someone who has deen. Don't look for beauty or money, everything, because in all these circumstances, I have my wife on my side. I think if she wasn't there, I wouldn't have coped with it. So she is very supportive, and she's mashallah qualified enough. She's got Islamic studies degree, and she's qualified nurse, and she's got a degree in English language and literature as well. So make sure you marry someone who has deen. Don't go for looks, don't go for money. The deen is there. If the deen is there, then you will be successful. And don't give up. Don't give up on your hopes and your goals. Try your best. Do it slowly. If it's not completion 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, carry on. Carry on. Don't give up. There will be one day, then you reach there. So my intention is just to educate 1 million people before I die, or in my lifetime, minimum. For that, I had intention to make university, but that's not possible, physical university, because it needs a lot of money. Even though a few years ago, I even emailed HEC, what is the requirement to make a university, and then they kindly send me all the details. I have all the details that this is what you need for making university, especially women university, because I've seen my sister. I've got a younger sister, and she couldn't go out of the village because we don't have the facilities. Similarly, my wife, it's difficult for women to go to mixed environment. Most of the girls, they leave education because they can't go to mixed environment. So I had the intention to make university where the women can teach. It's actually basically run by women, taught by women, and the students will be women. And alongside you have males as well. That's not a problem, but you will have one section, one branch or one complete university. A is university, B is male branch, female branch. that they are completely independent. They can study, should be able to study all the modules, everything. Because personally, I may disagree with working in mixed environment, but if that's run by women, for example, if you have the medical school, it's run by women, it's the students are women, the teachers are women, everything is women, then I don't think anyone would have problem with that. So go for your goals, don't give up, go for it, and slowly and gradually you will be there. Just trust Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As long as it's halal goal, then inshallah you will succeed, as long as you carry on with that.
Great. So here's one question from you. Brother Fareed Khan says, please tell something about the ICS scope in the world.
I think from my point of view is every single subject has a scope, because people see differently. They just see what is currently going on, but it changes. If you just study, let's suppose in our community, our society, we look down upon people who study arts. For example, if you study Urdu literature or Pashto literature or any English literature, but maybe English literature, they're big up high, but not the other ones. I don't agree with that. Whatever you like. The other thing is you have to do, like someone I know, one of my cousins, he rang me, he lives in Canada, his son's, he asked the son to do this course. And then suddenly he had the opportunity to change it and the son wanted a different one. So I just advised him, brother, what you need to do, just as long as it's halal field, let him or her do that, follow that field, because they have to live in that field for the rest of their life. So you don't want your son or daughter to be depressed after 1 or 2 years. So let them, if they enjoy their study, their work, then let them do it. So I think every single subject has scope in this world. It can't be just everyone doctors, everyone this and that. No, as long as you do it with motivation, with passion, you should follow whatever you like. You should, as long as halal, because the final goal is to make Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala happy.
Thank you so much. It was really a nice talk to you. I learned a lot, and we hope the viewers also learned a lot of things from you. So thank you so much for giving us the time and give us an opportunity to learn from you. And again, thank you so much. We can do a little things, and this is the Sadqa Jariya for us also, and for all our loved ones. So we will live back another session with another guest. Till then, stay safe. Allah Hafiz.
Thank you for having me, and if I made a mistake, forgive me. Jazakallah khair, and thank you for having me again. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.